Hello, good afternoon, and very warm welcome to everyone. And today we are present with the first webinar of Android Application Library Group Interaction for the Hackathon Libaton, which is an initiative of Android Application Library Group. So basically, this would be a more of a AMA session wherein we'll be having our guest for the day, Mr. Hari Krishnan B, who would be introducing you and letting you go through the entire fundamentals of what Libaton is, what we desire, and what would be there in it. So just giving a brief intro about it. Application Library Group is an open source community which is a joint initiative of Huawei, L&T, Wipro, and Click2Cloud. So this initiative brings to us the fundamentals of how the developers could build an ecosystem around the Android library and develop the entire ecosystem around it. So with this, I'd like to welcome Mr. Hari Krishnan B, who is a senior project manager for Huawei Technologies.
Hi, Kaushik. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you
hi,
for that.
Mr. Hari
Yeah.
Krishnan. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you for that introduction. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot for joining in and letting us go through the entire process of what Libaton is and how it would be done. What are the best practices and what you expect from the participants. So, over to you, Mr. Hari Krishnan, without
Sure,
wasting much of your time.
sure. So let me quickly share my screen also.
Yeah, sure.
Is it visible, Kaushik?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay, perfect. Let me make it into the slideshow view. Okay, so good evening all. So hope all of you are doing okay. So I think this is a tough time for all of us. Yeah, so hope all of you are doing okay at your homes, staying safe. So today, I would like to talk to you about a couple of things. I would like to talk about reusable components. I would like to talk about what is our application library engineering group initiative is all about. And I would also like to talk about the current hackathon, which we have launched. So just to give introduction about myself, I am Hari Krishnan. So I have been working for the last 16 years with the Huawei Bangalore R&D. So currently I'm playing the role of a senior project manager. So from the beginning, I have been working with the consumer software business group, and I have worked upon different consumer products, right? So typically, when we talk about the consumer industry, or let's say now the most the integrated, the typical one is the smartphones, right? So when we talk about smartphones, the first thing that comes into our mind is about the application development, right? So there are an n number of platforms, communities. There are a number of speakers, blogs who talk about the application development for the consumer devices and smartphones in particular across different platforms. But what we have seen is, see, now typically an application is like a product, right? It's just like any new product development. The developers develop the applications, and so if you look at the trends for any particular product, a new product, the product life cycles have been coming down. I mean, the life cycles have been shortening, right? So every now and then, new products, new services, new apps are getting launched, right? So now, so what is that which enables these applications? What is that which enables these developers to develop these applications on a fast pace and bring it to the market at a fast pace, right? So how do the developers achieve efficiency and effectiveness in bringing in these applications to the market? So in that context, when we thought about it, so we came across the reusable components. We came across the different kinds of libraries which are being used by the developers, right? But we also noticed that there is not much attention or appreciation given to these reusable components, the importance of this reusable component. So that is where we wanted to bring some focus into the reusable components. So moving on to my slide. So this is just some survey results, some analysis done on the reusable components. So what are the advantages of the reusable components? So the cost savings, the product increase in the productivity, the reduction in the time to market. So you can see here, based on a study, even NASA reported that there is a reduction of 75% in the overall development effort and cost by making use of the reusable architecture and the reusable components. So these are some of the typical advantages of using the application components or libraries in terms of efficiency, consistency, field proven or already tested code, easy testing. And this is again some infographics on the number of reusable components which are going to come in the Android platform. So you can see an enormous growth which is projected for the libraries and the reusable components in the app Android platform. And the same way, this is about the iOS platform. So based on this significance of the reusable components, so we wanted to launch an open source initiative. We are calling it as the Application Library Engineering Group. So here, if you look at the vision and the mission, the idea is to make a platform, make a truly open platform where the different stakeholders, the developers, the students, the different universities, the industry partners can come together and they can work on developing, promoting innovative, reusable components, which can in turn help the companies and the developers for the faster application development. So some of the key missions what we have identified is build application reusable components for the top mobile connected platforms. Want to create applications across the domains to demonstrate the usage of the reusable building blocks. We want to reduce the R&D effort and timeline greatly in order to build any kind of solutions development and deployment in the popular middleware platforms. So this is so basically what we are trying to do is we are trying to build an ecosystem. So already we have many partners associated with this open source community. So if you look at from the industry leaders, we have companies like Wipro, Huawei, L&T, Click2Cloud. We have universities like KL University, Ramaya, SJCIT, JSS. We also have other communities like Girl Script, and we have several other partners in terms of the student forums, student clubs who are already engaged with this particular community. And we are not restricting ourselves to any specific platform. So right now we are focusing on Android, iOS, and there is also an upcoming IoT open source OS from Huawei. It's called as a Harmony OS. So we are also focusing on that particular platform. Now, if you typically look at the what is the motivation for the different contributors to contribute to the open source communities, to the open source code? So this is again a survey result. Like some people say, I use this piece of the open source code, and they wanted some specific features or fixes. And some people say they just enjoy the learning. Some people look for helping opportunities, working with the community and the peers. They also look for a recognition or a position within the community. So different people have different motivations to contribute to the open source. So in case if any of them, so into top of this, on top of this, we also wanted to add an incentive. We also wanted to motivate companies and students to come and contribute to this open source community for the reusable components. So that is where we have decided to collaborate with the popular platform of Incubate Ind, and we have launched a hackathon. So we are calling it as a Libaton. So this is already launched, I think, a couple of weeks back. So the registrations are open, right? And so this hackathon, I think later Kaushik will be telling us more about what are the different phases of this hackathon and what each phase is about. But typically now that the phase one, which acts as the entry gate to this hackathon, the registration or the deadline is on 12th September 2021. So it's just 1 week we have left in this registration. And so here we also have a huge financial benefits and incentives around 10 lakh Indian rupees prize money, and this it's there. But the financial part, the financial incentives is just a secondary part. So this I would urge all the developers, all the participants I understand that many of you have already registered for this, and there are many people who are considering to register and participate. So I would like to urge you to look at the learning potential, what this challenge. So this is just not like any other normal hackathon where you come in, participate, write a piece of code, and then somebody evaluates and declares the winner. So this is more of a phase-wise learning path, where you also get an opportunity to work with the industry leaders, the top technical experts from the different companies and universities, which I mentioned earlier. And based on that, there are incentives in terms of financial incentives, in terms of career opportunities with many of these companies. So I would urge all of them to look at the learning potential, and I would urge everybody to register at the earliest for this particular Libaton. So to give a little bit more input, okay. So now, as I said, this is we have organized this hackathon into different phases. So now, if you the phase one is the entry gate. So if you are wondering what you need to do for this particular phase one, so what you can do is you need to pick an existing library. You can use the refer as the Android platform. You can pick any existing Android library. You can come up with an innovative idea to either enhance or improve or optimize that particular library. So this enhancement can be in terms of a feature enhancement. It can be in terms of additional interfaces, additional APIs exposed. It can be in terms of the overall performance of that reusable component. It can be in terms of the memory, how much memory it is being used, etc. Alternatively, right, if you don't want to work on an existing library, if you feel like the existing libraries are already saturated or already mature enough, right, you can even come up with an idea for a completely new library that will be helpful for the application developers to look at some, or to solve some of the problem statements, or some of the pains or some of the typical needs of the customer. So this is what the phase one is all about. And yeah, so these are some of the links about the hackathon, and also about our applet community group, which later we will be sharing in the chat as well as in our forums. So I think that's it from me, Kaushik, on the overall introduction part.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Mr. Harikrishnan. Thanks a lot for that quick intro. So, if we have got any questions, I'd request each and everyone who is out there to put up their questions. If they have got any sort of questions related to what they should do, what should make them stand out from the crowd, what are the chances of winning, and what else they should bring up. So you could just put it up in the comment section, and we'll be more than happy to help you. Mr. Harikrishnan would be there for a couple more minutes. If you have got any sort of questions, we'll be more than happy to help you and answer your questions. Moving on, while you are putting up your questions, what we'll do is that I'll just let you go through the entire process of what actually the entire hackathon is all about, how you would be tackling different problem statements, what is the requirement out there. So first of all, this is completely about Android library development. So Android libraries, as Mr. Harikrishnan told, is the backbone in which different packages that you import into your projects run. So if you are an Android developer, you would be pretty much well aware of the fact that which Android libraries you use. So whether it is enabling the camera action on your on your Android application, or is it about enabling certain other features, enabling text to speech, or any sort of feature that you want to build in, you are basically importing some kind of package which is running behind the scenes. And so that is a Huawei team and the entire Android application library group came up with a theme wherein we would inculcate the entire Android libraries development. So basically, these are all open source projects out there on GitHub. And one of the important criteria is that you select one of the Android libraries, or you could come up with an idea of your own in which you could emphasize on certain parameters. You could build certain features which you feel are currently lacking in the existing Android libraries out there, and you could submit a proposal to us, or you could just go through any of the Android libraries. If you will go through the website of Hackathon, that is incubateInd.com/hack/Libaton, we'll be dropping it into the chat section as well. You will find there are certain other fundamentals, as say for example, you could select from the listed Android libraries which are there, and even more, you could select others which are not already listed there. So all you do need to do is that select one of the Android libraries which you do use regularly, or you feel that you could add certain features over there. Go to it. Just check that one criteria for this is that it should have 200 stars. So on GitHub. So just go to it, fork it, add some changes, see what you could do, how improvement, how many types of parametric improvements you are doing in your entire system, how it is changing the library, how it is impacting your application. Put it up onto the first phase. We would be selecting the top student, top teams basically, and would be having certain benefits, really monetary amount, which would be provided to them, which is rupees 3,000 gift card for the first phase. Then moving on, we'll be working closely with those teams. We'll be working on creating those solutions which you had proposed in the first phase. Let's say you would be creating the entire architecture around it if you are creating the prototype. And then we'll be having the entire hackathon finale. So, Mr. Harikrishnan, if I've gone anywhere off track, you could just jump in and tell me that this is where I've gone wrong.
No, I think Kaushik is perfect. You can, yeah, right.
Yeah, so this is what the entire hackathon structure will be all about, and putting more emphasis on trying to understand the library group, its functionality, what it is addressing to, and coming up with new solutions. And the team would be working along with you in the second phase. We would be guiding you so that you get to a common conclusion. And that is all. For a tip, I would say go through the GitHub repos, look into the discussions forum of those libraries, look into factors which they are trying to improve. If you have got certain features that you could improvise on, if you are looking forward, or if you have personally felt any issue in coming up with certain library, importing certain library, and you are facing that it's buggy, you could just come up with a certain solution for that. So that is it from me. Mr. Harikrishnan, if you've got any question, any things that you want to clarify to them, you.
No, so as I mentioned earlier, so I would request all of the developers and all the participants there to go ahead and so the initial registration is not enough. You have to submit a proposal, as is now Kaushik mentioned. So that makes the entry gate for you to be a part of this the overall event in the multiple phases. That also will enable you to be a part of this learning experience. So as I mentioned, the experts from the partners in this community, so we'll be working with you, will be guiding you for each step based on the proposal, based on the quality of the idea, what you are putting in this phase one. So I request everybody to make use of this opportunity to work closely with the top industry experts.
Yeah, and as Mr. Harikrishnan told, it is very important for each and every team to submit the idea, because team registrations would be closing on 12th of September, and you have to submit your ideas before that. You will have to create a PPT basically. If you will go to idea submission, you will find everything out there, what is required and what is not required. Just go through the entire submission procedure, submit as soon as possible, go through the instructions. And if I'm to recall the instructions, there would be certain things that we would be looking forward to, like what is a brief, a GitHub repo link of the current library, if you are working on the current library, that is the significant improvement that you plan to make to your solution. So you need to describe what are the significant improvements that you are looking forward to, the key parameters that you would be improving in that, and then upload a PDF basically. So your PDF should be key proposals on where the performance should increase, how the performance factors should be increased, and your validation of if you are doing this, it would definitely increase the performance. A POC, or basically a proof of concept of the idea, in the form of basically a response time of if there's certain delay time in certain application library group, then definitely you could come up with a POC of how the delay time would be decreased, and it would be increasing the efficiency of the entire library. And dependencies which you would be using, because it is pretty much essential that we get to know which are the dependencies that we would be using, because your ideas might be great. Sometimes people have got great ideas, but the text supporting it or the dependency supporting it is sometimes not up to that standard. So keep that in mind. uh, Try to be as explanatory as possible in the PDF, so that you get a better chance to be selected for the next round. And then we'll be looking forward to working with the prototype. And remember, September 12th is the last date for team registrations, as well as the team should freeze by then. So gather your teammates, look forward to them, and complete your team. That is all that I've got right now. If we have missed out anything, we could just cover up a few questions as well. We have got, yeah, few of the questions we have got. Mr. Harikrishnan, would you like to answer these
Yeah,
questions?
this question is
What is
about.
the age group?
Yeah, so this is the age group. So right now we are looking at 16, right, Kaushik? We are looking at 16
Yeah, yeah.
as a cutoff, right? So because it is, we feel that that is more, that is when the more and more people are into the development and the open source and the students community. So this is not only for the seasoned developers. We want this opportunity to be available even for the students who have just started into the open source environment, open source ecosystem. So that way, we would like to keep it as 16. Yeah. Beginners,
Should the
yeah,
beginners?
yes. I would encourage all the beginners. Please don't stay back. Please don't think that this is something which is only for the experts. We would like to encourage each and everyone, irrespective of a beginner, you are an expert, doesn't matter. Please participate. So as Kaushik also explained, so see the phase one is about the idea. So you don't have to be a technical expert or a wizard. So the phase one, the weightage is on the quality of the idea. How is your thinking process? What is the innovation you are thinking about? What is the improvement you are thinking about? That is where the weightage is. So please do participate. Don't worry about your technical expertise. Don't make it as a blocker for you. What do you see for selecting the idea? Yeah, so just now, Madhu, just now as I explained, so we are looking at the more of the quality of the idea in terms of the thought process behind the idea. What is the improvement? So see, okay, so now when we think about the idea, we actually keep this, since these are for the reusable components, right? So we think about not only the end user, but we also think about the developer, right? So who is going to use your components? So what is the advantage your idea is going to bring in for the end user as well as the developer? That is what we are looking at. So as Kaushik also mentioned, when you submit the proposal, make sure you elaborate the idea well enough so that whatever the value proposition you are suggesting is very clear to the panel, the technical panel who will be going through your ideas. Make that presentation or the proposal as elaborate and complete as possible. Can be done without a group? Definitely. You can do it as an individual, or you can go a group up to 4 members, right, Kaushik?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Up to
yeah.
four
We can,
members.
up to 4 members, you can be a group, or you can do it individually. What criteria do you see? So I think this already we discussed. I think, yeah, Madhu's question. Yeah. I don't know anything about Android library development, but I am eager to learn this. Please give me an opportunity to learn and want to work with you. Okay, Prakash, I completely, I respect and appreciate your keenness to learn and work on this. Yeah. So please think about, there are a lot of materials available in the internet. Please go through them. Please look at the existing libraries. Already in the Incubate platform, we have given a list of libraries as suggestions. You can look at those libraries, see what those libraries are doing, what is the potential improvement you can bring in on that. You think about that aspect and submit your ideas. We definitely will value the, as I said, the weightage is on the idea. So I definitely hope you will get an opportunity to go to the next phases and work with the industry experts. Idea submission, PPT format. Kaushik, right? PPT, yeah.
Yeah. So the idea submission format is completely there on your dashboard. The moment you join in, register, you will be landing onto the team dashboard. And over there, what you'd be seeing is that you'd be seeing the entire format of what your idea submission should be. There would be certain questions, as I was reiterating few moments earlier, as well as you will get a PDF to be uploaded in the desired format. So just go through it. If you have got any questions apart from this after this session, you could join the Discord channel. We'll soon be circulating the Discord communication link for this hackathon, specifically meant for this hackathon support. So it will be circulated to each and everyone on the mail. Please keep an eye on it. As well as whenever you feel certain queries to be asked, just drop a mail at hack@incubate.ind.com and we'll be more than happy to help you.
Total, how many winners will be selected? I think the details are there in the platform. You can have a look at it. So overall, we are looking at a prize of, I think, 10 lakhs for all the winners together. But as I said, the financial incentive is only one part, and it is actually a secondary part. Please look at the learning potential. Please look at the career opportunities. Please look at the position or the branding which you are going to create yourself through this challenge, through this hackathon. So please look at those aspects also, which we cannot quantify in terms of numbers.
Yeah, so basically, as Mr. Harikrishnan told, there's a lot of prize money up for grabs, but keep a part wherein you focus more on the learning perspective and improving the community rather than focusing totally on what the monetary benefits are, though there's a pretty, I'd say, justified, more than justified amount of monetary grabs up over there. So just have a look through the entire website. You will find each and every details. As well as one more suggestion before we answer this question, which I wanted to put up is that while going through the problem statement, if you will go through the challenges, you will find the Google Sheet that is download Android libraries list. Just go through it. These Android libraries are just for a reference. You could go through them and get to understand what are the libraries that we are looking forward to, the types of libraries. You could select any of the libraries. It is completely open to you, but these are just for the reference purpose.
How many teams will be selected? I think we right now we are looking at considering around 50 winners for the phase one. But that again, it all depends upon the participation. If we come across a good number of ideas, we are open to have more winners. I mean, have more people move on to the next stages. So as I said, this is not this competition. The whole objective of this competition is to encourage more and more people to come and contribute to the open source. So no, there are no hard and fast rules. So please do participate.
Um, if we, I don't feel that we have got any more questions. If there are any more questions, please feel free to put up on the comment section right now. So moving on, do we have anything that we need to cover up? If you feel so, Mr. Harikrishnan, if you could just.
I think we are pretty good. We have covered all the major aspects. So yeah, I think nothing else from my side, Kaushik. So just a request to all the people out there. to participate yourself, to encourage your friends and your people in your network also to participate. We would like to have all of you, right, move on to the different phases of this challenge. And no, we all would like to work with you for a long term. I mean, this is not only for this hackathon duration. So you can always reach out to the incubating or the AppLib community. So let's say you don't want to, for whatever the reason, let's say you don't want to participate in this hackathon, but you want to learn how to contribute to the open source, how to contribute to the reusable components. You please do reach us at our AppLib community. We'll be sharing the respective links in the comment section. So yeah, so that's it.
We
Yeah.
have got one good question. What does Harmony OS use for its IPC?
What does Harmony use for its IPC? So Madhu, unfortunately, I am not aware of this, but definitely I will check. I would encourage you to connect to us, to our applet community. You can learn more about Harmony OS. So as I said earlier, from the applet community, we are focusing on Android, iOS, as well as the Harmony. We are considering all these platforms for the reusable component development. So please do reach out to us.
Yeah, so that's it from our side. Again, I reiterate that for any sort of confusion or any sort of communication that you want to connect with us, we'll be sending you the Discord link soon today by the end of the day onto your emails. Please join it as soon as possible. Register now if you haven't registered. Team registrations close on September of 12th. After that, all the teams would be free. Idea submissions need to be made before that. Submit your ideas as soon as possible. Gather your friends, gather your teammates before that. Make a better solution. Create a proper presentation. Convert it into a PDF. Upload it. Answer all your questions. Because first of all, the mentors would definitely be looking into the questions and then opening your PDF. So do keep that in mind as well. That you need to answer the questions as well on a priority basis. And all the best to everyone. Just follow whatever you're doing with the Android libraries development. Go through certain specifications, do some research work in the form of GitHub discussions, go through different repositories, look what are the issues which are currently open on those repositories. And if you could figure them out, just have a go at it. So that is all from our side. Um, Thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot. And thanks a lot, Mr. Harikrishnan, for joining us. It was great having you over here and interacting with you as well as getting to know what the Libaton is all about. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Kaushik. And thank you, Incubating team, for this platform. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.